So for this section on simultaneous linear equation, if you look at the title, simultaneous linear equation, so I'm sure in Sec 1, you learn what is called linear equation. So in Sec 1, your linear equation will be something like this. So you will solve for x. So in Sec 1, your linear equation helps you to solve for one unknown. So right now we are going to have a pair of simultaneous equation. So why is there such a big word for simultaneous? So if you look at if you check out the meaning of simultaneous means at the same time. So at the same time, you are given two equations. And from this equation, right, we are going to solve for two unknown at the same time. So what do we mean by solve for two unknown? That means, right, you will be finding the value of x, and you will also be finding the values of y. Of course, we are not going to be having x and y all the time. Maybe it can be a and b. Maybe you will be finding the values of m and n. So generally unknown. So you will be coming to two unknown compared to what you learned in Sec 1. So in Sec 1, you got linear equation, and you only solve for one unknown, which is usually x. Okay, sometimes it can be k, sometimes it can be y. But right now, we're going to be solving for two. So there are two algebras that you actually need to find values. So we'll be finding it at the same time. That's why you got this phrasing called simultaneous. That's why this topic is called simultaneous linear equation. So you will be getting two equations, and the two equations will help you to solve for two unknown at the same time. So I want you to look at the structure of the two equations first. So if your job is to find x and y, you look at the format of the equation. So do you realize that the format is always like something x, something y equal to another number? So can you see it's always like something with x, something with y, and is equal to another number. Something with x, something with y, and is equal to a number. So that will be the format. So we would like to have this format, the format of x and y equal to a number. Okay, so this is the general format, and our usual notation will be, we will label the first equation as number 1. We will label the second equation as number 2. Okay, so this is part of your presentation. So labeling the equation as equation 1, equation 2, that is part of the presentation. So the whole purpose is, if I give you two equations, you're supposed to find two unknown. And there are three ways of doing this. So we got three ways of doing, three ways of solving. So does that mean that, right, if I use different way, I will get different answer? No. So for one pair of equation, if I do it by three methods, all the three methods will come to the same answers. Okay, and how do you know which method? Later on, we'll discover. So usually they will tell you the method. But if they don't tell you the method, we can choose the method. Okay, so usually for the graphical method, they will tell you that one need to use, when we say graphical method means, right, you find it using the graph paper. For the elimination and substitution method, right, that's what we call the algebraic method. That means we do it in a very algebra way. Okay, so between these two methods, you usually will end up with a favorite method. But the question will specify the method to you, then you got to do according to the method. That means your presentation has to follow closely to the method. But if, let's say, the question never specify, of course, you can do your favorite method. Or at the end of this part, right, you should be able to see the structure of the two equations, and then you realize that I think for this substitution is better. For another type of equation, elimination is better. Okay, so you have to follow closely the steps and the method. So at the moment, right, you need to understand that you will be given two equations. The purpose of the two equations is for you to find two unknown at the same time. Okay, and the two unknown, right, will match the two equations. So there are three methods: graphical method, elimination method, and substitution method. So I'll be showing you each of the method. So you are required to know all the methods. You cannot say that I do not like this method, I'm not going to do this method. There's no such thing. You got to be very fluent, and it should be 100% accuracy for the method. That means you cannot be subjecting yourself to a lot of careless. So from here, transition from Sec 1 to Sec 2, you should upgrade yourself to minimize careless. Okay, so when you do things, right, be more mindful. So this is the first algebra that you're going to encounter. So a lot of algebra will follow, but this one will be the first idea of algebra in Sec 2.